Hello students, I am your business studies teacher Dr. Mithu Roy. Most of you have perhaps seen me in the college and for this session myself and Dr. Sumadhu Roy will be your teachers for business studies. So today in my first video I would like to give you a brief introduction on the subject, but prior to that I would like to uh, give you the names of certain books which you may purchase for your reference. So some suggested books which you may note down, I'm repeating it. Business Studies by Dr. R.K. Pathak, Manik Chandra Kalwar and Mriganko Shekhar Pathak. You can take this book or you can take Business Studies by Sarkar Sharma and Gupta, and there are several other books which are available in the market and most of them are good ones. But these two books I would suggest to you, you can take either or you can take both, and for your every doubts me and Professor Sumadhu Roy will be available for you, and you feel free to write to us to write about your doubts, write about your queries, or you want to know any new thing. You can message us in this group. So, at the earliest, at the beginning, as I told you, I will be telling to you about the subject. So you have already got this subject in your HS first year, that is business studies, and this year also the name of the subject is business studies. So what you learned last year was all about the basics of business, the ABCD of business, what is business, different types of businesses, different ways of formation of different businesses, the pros and cons of different types of businesses, their merits, demerits, usefulness, what are the rules, what are the regulations, and I believe all of you have gone through thoroughly through your business studies HS first year course, because that is the very foundation of your education in business, in management studies, in commerce studies, and without a thorough idea about the basics of business, it would be a really a difficult process to concentrate on the nitty-gritties of commerce. I hope I am clear to you, and I would try to be as simple as possible with you in my upcoming classes as well as today's classes. And whenever I post a video or whenever I post some PDF files in the group, no, don't feel hesitant to ask me questions, to answer your queries, and every alternate day I would be coming to take your class. So today, as I told you, that business studies you studied in HS first year, and this year also the name of the subject is business studies. So this year's business studies is all about management, the big, the beautiful, the magnificent, and the highly demanding world of management. This year you are going to get an intro into the world of management, which is one of the most demanded subjects, which is one of the most demanded disciplines all over the world. And we shall be starting with your first chapter at the beginning, and gradually we will proceed. In total you have 12 chapters. I think many of you have collected the books. Those who have not collected the books also, you collect it at the earliest, and I will read out the chapters for you. Like, your subject is divided into two parts, part A and part B. Part A is all about principles of management, principles and functions of management, and part B is about business, finance and marketing. That means financial management and marketing management. These two will comprise your second part. In total the syllabus is quite huge. There are 12 units, and your first part A, comprises of 8 units and part B comprises of 4 units. So you don't worry at all. We would be taking up your classes every day, as I told you, through videos, through audios, through PDF files, through slide sharing, and hopefully very soon through live classes also on digital platform, maybe through Zoom or Google Meet, that we will share to you in this WhatsApp group. So today in my first class I will give you notes on this. I will post the notes in the groups. I will upload the notes in the groups. You will get all your notes there. You go through the notes. But most of you will agree with me perhaps that it is not only about notes. We don't study only for the notes. It is such a difficult time right now, COVID-19, and you students have taken up so much of responsibility on yourself that not to miss your studies and attend the classes. I was so surprised that as when I created the group, within 2 or 3 hours I got, I think, more than 60 people, students who joined the group. That means how much eager you are for your studies, and it makes me very, very happy. And out of 100 students, so many of you have joined the group, and this is really an interesting figure. So without wasting the time, I'm your teacher for today. I told you already, you can call me Mithu ma'am. And I will be starting today with unit number 1. And as I told you, this year you are going to study about management. So the first chapter is about the very basics of management. The name of the chapter is Nature and Significance of Management. So you will agree that at the very beginning we need to know what is management and why are we talking about management, and why did I say at the beginning that management is one of the most discussed, management is one of the most demanded subjects or disciplines all over the world today. First of all, the thing is that people cannot do all of their work alone. Like for example, you take the case of one of India's very popular companies, one of India's very big conglomerates, that is the Tata Group. All of you have heard about Tata, I am sure. There are approximately 100 companies, plus minus you can do 5 or 10. So almost 100 companies are under the Tata Group's umbrella. And there are so many different types of businesses that Tata is doing at present, like Tata Motors dealing in automobiles, right from manufacturing of trucks and four-wheelers and other types of vehicles and all. They are in a Titan Group of Industries. The Titan Group of Industries is associated with in two aspects basically, and at present in 3 areas, like the Titan watches, the jewelries under the Titan brand, that is the Tanishq Jewelries, and Titan Eye Gear. They sell you spectacles and frames and all these kind of things. Then Tata has Tata Tea. Tata is there in insurance, that is Tata AIG. Tata is there in the hotel sector, the Taj Group of Hotels, the Vivanta Group of Hotels, the Ginger Hotels, and these are different chains of hotels under the Tata conglomerate. So you see, Tata has so many different types of businesses ranging from automobiles to salt to tea to different service sector businesses. So much one is unrelated to each other. So is it possible for one person to do at the top of the Tata management, or is it possible only for the CEO of the Tata Group to do all the activities that or to run all the companies which are under the Tata Group? Absolutely not. That's why whenever people are doing any kind of work, they cannot do any that work alone if they want to do the work in an elaborate manner, in a diversified manner, or in an expanded manner. You may take the example of our college also, Guwahati Commerce College. There are so many subjects. There are you students are supposed to study approximately, I guess, 6 subjects, and these 6 subjects have been divided accordingly. These 6 subjects have different teachers, and there are 3 sections under HS second year. There are 3 sections under HS first year. There are 6 sections in each semester of from become first semester to become sixth semester. There are different classes of MCom, MBA, BBA, PGDCA, and all other courses that our college is running. So do you think that any one teacher or any one person in the administration can run all the classes single-handedly? Absolutely not. So in that case, we will need the help of others, and that is the essence of management. Management is, you mark my words and don't forget these lines ever, management is the art of getting things done through others. It is the art that a person acquires where he takes the help of other people, he forms a group, and from the group he uh, molds the group to get teamwork and get results as desired or as expected. And that is the very essence of management. And the term management, you see, then why so much focus on management? Work can be done by anybody, work can be done by any person or a group of persons. Then what is so special about management? Management is not only getting the work done, management is getting the work done systematically. Management is getting the work done utilizing the resources properly, so that there is no underutilization, overutilization, or misutilization of resources. Management is getting the work done on time. Management is getting the work done for the benefit of the organization, as well as for the satisfaction of the employees also, and also delivering the expected results to the society also. So this is the very essence of management. And management has always been there. Management, it is very difficult to give one precise definition of management. Different scholars have given different definitions of management, but when we summarize these definitions, the conclusion that we get is that management is managing people, management is managing resources both inside and outside the organization for achieving the objectives, for greater satisfaction of the organization, for greater satisfaction of the employees, and also making the desired changes in the environment, and delivering the best possible services to the society, the community. This is the whole gist of management. And talking about the concept of management, there are three concepts of management. I will upload these answers in this group. Just quickly, if I tell you the three concepts of management, some consider management as a distinct activity, some consider management as a school of according to different schools, and some have defined management as per managerial practices. So to sum up, what I would like to say is that management is an organized activity. Management is doing some things in a doing a particular task, doing a particular work in a synchronized manner. Management is proper coordination of activities. Management is channelizing the people, channelizing other resources in such a way so that the desired results can be achieved. And I have come across a very interesting framework of management, and always remember this framework, that management is the summation of 5 main functions: planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. And these functions are meant to utilize the resources, and these resources we say 5 M's. The first M is man, that is manpower. The second M, money. The third M, machines. The fourth M, materials. And the fifth M, methods. So management is done through 5 main functions, that is planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling, in order to ensure the optimum utilization of resources, which we call 5 M's, that is man, money, machines, materials, and methods. And the main objective is to get the predetermined goals, to achieve the predetermined standards and targets that have been set. So this is the very essence of management, and you should never forget this essence, not only for this year, but as long as you are studying commerce, business, and management. So students, I shall be touching just 2 simple topics today. I hope I have cleared your concept of management. I'll give you answers on that. And very quickly, just two concepts for the first class, two topics for the first class. First of all, I shall be discussing the characteristics of management, which means the features of management. The questions can be like state the different points which would define the features or characteristics of management. And Next, I shall be discussing with you the objectives of management. That is, why management? Why do we need management, and what are the main aims and objectives of management? So, coming to characteristics, after going through the different opinions given by different management thinkers from time to time, the main characteristics of management, the first characteristic is that management is a goal oriented process. Whenever any activity is done by management by taking the help of others, it is not aimlessly. সদায় এটা উদ্দেশ্য থাকে, অ্যান্ড সেই উদ্দেশ্যটো এচিভ কৰাৰ বাবে ম্যানেজমেণ্ট প্ৰেক্টিছ কৰা হয়. চ' ম্যানেজমেণ্ট ইজ always a goal oriented activity. It is not a blind activity. It always targets some aims and objectives which are to be achieved. Secondly, management is all pervasive. All pervasive means management is required everywhere throughout the organization. It does not mean that only the top level people need management. It does not mean that only the lower level workers need management. Management is required in every department. Management is required in every section. Management is required at every level throughout the organization, right from the top level, the middle level to lower level, different departments, right from production, marketing, finance, human resource, research and development, and all throughout the organization. And if it is a multinational organization, if it is a multi-office organization, then in all offices, all the subsidiaries, and all throughout the branches of the organization, management is required. And the third point is management is multidimensional. Multidimensional means management is just not one subject. Actually, management has borrowed its principles and theories from different other subjects. Management implies psychology. Management has borrowed principles from sociology, from public administration, from mathematics, statistics, economics, and similar other disciplines. So management is multidimensional. This implies that managementor jibilak principle beleg beleg dikhor pora ahi, these have formed management principles. Management is a continuous process. So some people sometimes have a confusion যে ম্যানেজমেণ্টটো কেতিয়া কৰিব লাগে, when to start with management. Management is not a one time process. Management does not mean that it should be at the beginning, and management also does not mean that it should be at the end. Management is a continuous process, right from the starting of the activity to the time while the activity is going on till the end of the activity. Then again the new activities are started. As long as the organization exists, management also exists. It does not end. It keeps on going. The organization is running, and parallelly management keeps on going. It is not a one time activity. It is not a periodic activity. Management is a group activity. This basically comes from what I told you at the beginning, that management is the art of getting things done through others. Okole okole kaam korile etu management nohoy. This is not complete management. When you are doing things by taking the help of others, by making a team and creating teamwork, that is management. And that's why management is a group activity. Management is a dynamic function. There is no formula that will tell you that this is management and এনেকুৱা চিটুৱেশ্যনত এনেকৈ কাম কৰিব এণ্ড চব প্ৰব্লেম ছল্ভ হৈ যাব, এনেকুৱা হ'বই নোৱাৰে. বিজনেছ এনভাইৰনমেণ্ট কিপছ অন চেঞ্জিং. বিজনেছ এনভাইৰনমেণ্ট ইজ ডাইনামিক, এণ্ড মেনেজমেণ্ট চেঞ্জেছ উইথ দ্য ডাইনামিক্স, with the changes of the business environment, with the dynamics of the business environment. So management is not a constant process. Management is a dynamic process. The next point is management is an intangible force. That means you cannot see management. It is intangible. It is a very powerful force. ডাঙৰ শক্তি হয় মেনেজমেণ্ট, কিন্তু আমি মেনেজমেণ্টক চুবও নোৱাৰি, মেনেজমেণ্টক দেখিবও নোৱাৰি, we can only practice management in the organization and get the desired results. So management is an intangible force. Management involves decision making. This is very interesting. At the very first point, I told you that management is a goal oriented process. So management proceeds to achieve a particular goal, and when it reaches that goal, decisions are to be taken, sometimes crucial decisions, critical decisions, and taking the right decision at the right time is the ultimate result of good management. So management is a decision making process, and khali decision lolei no hobo. The decision has to be the right decision at the right time, which will give you the right results. So these were some important points regarding characteristics or features of management. I hope you have understood the points, and now we shall move over to the objectives of management. ম্যানেজমেন্টের উদ্দেশ্য কি, and these objectives can be divided basically into two categories: the micro level objectives and the macro level objectives. The micro level objectives are further divided into two categories, that is the organizational objectives and personal objectives. Organizational objectives are related to the institution or the সংগঠনৰ যিবিলাক objectives, these are organizational objectives. The first point is maximum result with minimum effort. This is very important for management. The activities that management does, the target is to get the best possible result. যিমান কম খরচ করি, minimum expenditure of resources, minimum use of resources করি, the maximum result which can be obtained. This is one of the most important objective of management. Utilizing the resources properly, making optimum utilization of resources and getting the best possible, the maximum results. This is one of the most important organizational objectives of management. Second is survival, growth and reputation. Management works to build the goodwill of the organization. Management works to make the organization survive through good and bad times. Like for example, now during the corona crisis, the COVID-19 crisis, many businesses are facing very, very difficult times. And the smart management of businesses, they are doing all efforts, because this difficult stage will also not always stay. So they are doing all efforts to utilize their resources properly so that the businesses are not shut down, the businesses can sail through this difficult phase. Like I will give you one example of the automobile sector. During this period, যেতিয়া নাকি লকডাউন হৈ আছে, মানুহ ওলাব নোৱাৰে, ওলাই যাব নোৱাৰে, গাড়ী ওলাব নোৱাৰে, চ' গাড়ী বিক্ৰীনো ক'ৰ পৰা হ'ব? চ' the automobile industries, automobile sector, different automobile companies are facing severe losses. And automobile companies now are trying to find alternative ways at least to sustain during this period. And many automobile companies are manufacturing equipments, medical equipments, for ICU units, hospital ICU units, different ventilators and different critical equipments. These are being manufactured by the automobile industries at present, because automobile sales are at all-time low. The economy is at an all-time low, but the business has to sail through. The business ক্লোজ করে দিলে তো সবেই হেক, ইট ইজ ওভার. সো হাউ উইল ইউ মেক দ্য বিজনেস sail through this difficult phase? This kind of crucial decisions are to be taken by the management. So this is another important objective, that is survival, growth and reputation. Mobilizing the best talent. Different people join the organizations, and how to utilize the best talent for the benefit of the organization, how to not only utilize the best talent, how to retain that talent so that they don't leave this organization and join rival organizations. This is also another important objective of management. And last but not the least, organizational objective. No organization can survive without profit, and management works to generate adequate revenue for the business so that profits keep coming and the business keeps running. Now let's go to the personal objectives, ব্যক্তিগত objective. First one, fair and reasonable remuneration. The different employees at different levels are employed in an organization, and in management we have a very interesting line: if you pay peanuts, you will get monkeys. That means if you don't pay the right amount of salary or wages, if you don't pay an interesting pay package to your employees depending on their skill, knowledge, experience, or expertise, you will not get good employees. So fair and reasonable remuneration to the employees is another important personal objective. Next is reasonable working condition. The place where we work, most of the time of our lives we spend at the workplaces. Sometimes our whole working life we spend in one institution only, 20 years, 25 years, sometimes 30 years also. And in one day, sometimes 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, and a person spends half of his day in his workplace. And the working conditions, if they are suitable, the working conditions, if they are comfortable, and it creates a good job satisfaction. And so this objective of management says that there should be a reasonable working condition for different employees. Training and development of employees, whatever knowledge we have, that has to be brushed up with time, and employees should be trained from time to time. They should be developed from time to time so that they don't become outdated. Employees' participation in decision making. Management should just not impose their decisions on the employees and make them work like servants. Wherever possible, employees should be made to participate in the decision making process. In that situation, employees will feel that the management cares for them. Employees will feel a sense of belongingness towards the organization, and this will enhance their commitment level, and they will work for the benefit of the organization. They will give their 100% full dedication to the organization. So this is a win-win situation for both the parties, the organization also, the employees also. And the last personal objective, reasonable security and safety. The employees, when they are at their workplace, adequate safety measures should be taken so that they are not harmed in the job. There should be job security so that they always are not under the fear that more sakori to thakibone nai. So with the right kind of measures, steps should be taken that there is a sense of security and safety among the employees. Once this feeling is there in them that I have job security, I have safety at the workplace, they will give their best to the organization. And the macro level objectives means the social objectives, সামাজিক উদ্দেশ্যবিলাক. The social objectives, first one is economic growth. The business houses are an important part of the economy. Their earnings are earnings of the economy. Businesses contribute to the national income. Businesses contribute to the GDP of the country, that is the gross domestic product of the country. And the performance of the businesses of any country determines the economic growth of that nation. So another important objective, the social objective, is economic growth. Social welfare, businesses are not meant only to earn profits. They should also take up activities that gives benefit to people in the society. They should take up social welfare work, and all their work should not only be for profit maximization, but it should also be for social welfare. And that's why society expects that they do not enter into antisocial activities that are detrimental to the social structure, that are detrimental to the social framework, and that does not create disharmony in the society. Next is employment opportunity. The government cannot provide employment to everyone in this country. So the next sector which comes are the business houses, the enterprises, the companies, and they can create huge employment opportunity for our population. And creating employment opportunities is another objective of business. Conservation of environment. At present, when we talk about carbon footprints, at present when we talk about climate changes, you have seen that when businesses have shut down due to the COVID-19 crisis and all, when the industries are not functioning, factories are not functioning, vehicular movements are less, the environment, it is people are telling that the earth has gone for healing. So indirectly it means that many businesses, if not all, but most of the businesses, they create rampant exploitation of the environment. So this has a cost. So businesses should take all steps so that there is minimum exploitation of the natural environment, because whatever they get, it is from the environment. So they should take steps so that the environment is not degraded, and all measures should be taken for environmental protection. And every business is expected to reduce their carbon footprint on this earth, to reduce pollution, to reduce degradation of the environment, and take all steps to control environmental degradation and promote environmental protection. Fair dealings with outsiders. Outsiders means the customers, the suppliers, the government, and all external parties who are directly or indirectly associated with any kind of business. And every business should be very fair, should be open, should be transparent in their dealings with the outsiders. And the last social objective is preservation of ethical values of the society. In the name of earning profits, in the name of generating revenue, in the name of running a business, businesses should not engage in such activities which will degrade, which will compromise social values, social ethics, customs, traditions, social structure, the ethical values of the society. So every business has responsibility, every business should have the objective to preserve the ethical values of the society. So I hope students you understood today's class. You might have not understood also certain things, so you can post your queries in this group. I will try to answer your queries as elaborately as possible. So that's all for today. Bye.